We're going to get started in just a moment. My flag's not in here. I want the flag. The young ladies went to get it for me. Miss Patterson, can you see if they're on their way? The girls with the flag should be coming around the corner. I hope they can move it. We've repurposed this room, so the flag was missing. Thank you so very much. Ready?
Good evening, everyone. Sorry for the delay. At this time, I'm going to call the meeting to order. Would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Can I have a student that will lead us in the pledge? Why don't you come on, sweetie? You'll come lead us in the pledge? Come on. They're shy. All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, we'll have a moment of silence if you choose to. Amen. Now we will have roll call by Ms. Penn.
Good evening. Ms. Chastity Meyer.
Here.
Ms. Catherine Russell.
Here.
Dr. Valerie Cave.
Here.
Ms. Athea Carter.
Here.
Ms. Farrah Maynor.
Here.
Ms. Nakisha Holloway.
Here. Thank you, Ms. Penn. Now, can I get a motion for the approval of the minutes for November 17th?
I move that we approve the minutes of the board meeting for November 17, 2025.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second that we approve the minutes for November the 17th. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposes? So moved. At this time, we will have a report from our delegate, Ms. Athea Carter, when she attended the conference in Hilton Head, I think. Charleston, I'm sorry.
Good
Ms. Carter.
evening. I attended the Legislative Advocacy Conference December 6th and 7th in Charleston. There were 12 speakers there that weekend with 2 mock debates. The entire conference was well put together. I learned a lot. And one thing that I must say is that there's a whole lot going on in the legislature with our educators. And I do say that a lot is going on with our education. We do have 69 bills. Only 10 of those were directly or indirectly impact school districts, but our resolutions, we had about 32 resolutions that we went through within the delegates' assembly. Of the 69, 10, like I said, were directly or indirectly impacted by, will impact the school districts. One is 740. It amends that state physical education requirements to mandate that students in kindergarten through 8th grade receive at least 60 minutes of outdoor physical activity each day. The bill was assigned to the Senate Education Committee. Number 752, and I'm just pointing out some of them, not all of them, requires each school district board to adopt a policy allowing students to be excused from school to attend a religious class conducted by a private entity under certain conditions. This bill was assigned to the Senate Education Committee. And 728 extends the state sales tax free weekend to the entire month of August instead of one weekend or 2 weekends in August, but the entire month of August. The bill was assigned to the Senate Finance Committee. Also, for the resolutions, there were some of them that stood out. The economic development tax incentives. The rationale behind this was that school districts are finding it increasingly difficult to preserve school tax millage for use exclusively for school purpose due to the erosion of the local tax base due to economic development incentives. For that belief, the South Carolina School Boards Association believes that a school district's tax base should not be eroded by economic development incentives, and that all revenue generated or determined by local school district tax millage must be preserved for use by school districts for school purposes. For fiscal autonomy affairs, the School Boards Association believes that all elected school boards should have full fiscal autonomy. The School Boards Association believes that the General Assembly should enact legislation to allow local school districts to opt into the State Public Employee Benefits Authority, that's PEBA, for health insurance coverage for school board members, ensuing equal benefits across the board for all local government leaders in South Carolina. Local governance of school districts. School Boards Association believes in the preservation of local decision-making and the governance of school districts by opposing efforts that limit or remove authority and autonomy in key governance areas. School boards should have the right to do so. School Boards Association believes that the General Assembly should increase funding from the South Carolina Education Lottery Program for K-12 education. School Boards Association believes legislation that includes language requiring the development and adaptation of a school district policy should be directed to local school boards. The School Boards Association believes the General Assembly should appropriate adequate and sustainable funding for school districts to provide mental health services for students. School governance takeovers, very important. The South Carolina School Boards Association believes in opposing the takeover of schools, school districts, and locally raised revenues, and opposes legislative efforts to remove, diminish, or interfere with the authority of local governing school district boards. South Carolina School Boards Association believes that dissolving a school board without cause is an unacceptable measure during a school governance takeover. South Carolina School Boards Association believes that private religious, and/or home schools that accept students spending public funds for their educational expenses should be required to take and report all federal and state mandated assessments required of public school students. And I'll stop right there with that one. That's an important one. Again, the conference was well attended, and it gave me a good idea as to what goes on with the legislators in Columbia. And it was said that some legislators, unfortunately, only know about what's going on in the school when they pass by. That's all they know about a school, is what they see when they pass by. And that is quite unfortunate. But we do expect better things from our legislators as they expect great things from us. That's all I have.
We are now down to greetings. Dr. Valerie Cave, Superintendent's operational update, facility updates, curriculum updates, HR, naming of facility presentation, and school calendar.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Ready. Thank you for your patience tonight. We dealt with some things. I look forward always to being able to share with you those things that are going on in our school district. So I'll begin this evening with all of the things that have been going on. The superintendent's operational update. I have been doing roundtables, of course, that's required every month. We've had our executive cabinet meeting where our cabinet went over calendars and we did various things, begin budget planning, have principal leadership meeting. I was selected to be in a work group with AASA on attract, hire, retain, and reward the best people. We meet on a monthly basis, virtually, and we'll meet in person when we go to our conference in February. Family engagement planning meeting. We're going to have a really huge family engagement event in the spring, and we're busy planning for that event. I presented at County Council. I had the opportunity to talk with them, so that was a nice addition. I've met with the Allendale Educational Foundation. They have started a foundation for Allendale County Schools. I should know to speak into that, right? And we've also had our district strategic planning meeting. We've also begun our budget and staffing meetings with all principals. I've met with each principal to go over their staffing needs and what they need for the coming year. You have there in front of you all of the things I send you this week at a glance. I send it to you every couple of weeks. So we have our Performing Arts groundbreaking ceremony went on today. Thank you all for attending. You'll see those pictures. Board and community meeting is tonight. We have early dismissal on Friday. Christmas break begins December 23rd through January 6th. Professional development, all schools January 6th when they return. Teacher work days January 7th. Students return on January 8th. We've had Festival Lights going on at one of our schools. The judging went on today. We have our winter concert beginning today. The elementary students enjoyed the choir concert today. The middle and high school students will attend the concert tomorrow. Tomorrow night will be the first public performance, and Wednesday night will be the grand finale. So please, board members, come out for the grand finale or come to each one of them. You see it many times if you'd like to. And we invite the public to come out. The tickets are $8 and for adults. And I think it's $5 for children. $3 for children, thank you. And then we're doing our iReady diagnostic testing. Those things are going on now. Okay? Curriculum updates, we still have our tutorial programs, all schools. We have calibration walks that have been going on, coaching, training and support, benchmarks and iReady testing, MTSS meetings and trainings per school. Student AI pilot for math or ELA for grades 2 through 8 and Aspire. So our district we have 3 districts in the state whose Superintendent Weaver is paying to have an AI pilot. This AI tool will be used for grades 2 through 8, so it's Williamsburg, Jasper, and Allendale are using the AI tool for our students to use to become more proficient in math and ELA. And she doesn't have to pay for it unless they guarantee success. So they guarantee that the children will move a grade level, so we're looking forward to seeing that. Professional development, we've had the Palmetto Math Project, Kevin Dill Behavioral Support, Dr. Sandra Goff Math, and Curriculum Associates with iReady, ELA, and math materials. Okay, did I leave anything out, Ms.? Okay, very good. All right, so today we had the groundbreaking of the Performing Arts Center. Here's a little sketch of what the front of the Performing Arts Center looks like. So we're really excited about that, and several of our board members were there. In facilities update, we have put a new roof on the building in Fairfax. Several reasons why we've put a new roof on the building in Fairfax, because that is our evacuation site, board members, as well as our Aspire Academy, and also I've been contacted by the Boys and Girls Club of South Carolina who want to come and begin to occupy that space. So I'll begin contractual agreements with them about occupying a portion of that building. Okay, so these are just some land views of the new roof that's on that building. Now we'll go in the inside and begin working on the inside, repairing some of the shingles, the roof ceiling tiles. Okay. All right, Dr. Miller, you're up.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. So I will be presenting tonight a overview and update for the Office of Human Resources. As you can see, as I state every single month, is that we highlight those classrooms that still have virtual teachers in them as vacancies. So you will see there the first 3 rows there, we have a Spanish teaching position at the high school, 6th grade math, and a 6th grade social studies teacher that is being held by a full-time virtual teacher. They are certified teachers though. And those teachers are doing extremely well in those classrooms. We also have a 1st grade teaching position. As of today, while I was doing this, we still had the vacancy, but I'll be meeting with someone tomorrow that we may be able to put into that position. Someone resigned a few months ago, and so about a month ago, and so we want to just kind of make sure that we have someone there to be able to fill that position. While there have been people in there taking care of that classroom, we just want to make sure that we have the right candidate there. The classified vacancies, we have a part-time payroll specialist position as well as part-time field trip bus drivers. So if you know anyone who would like to drive for our field trips to make sure our students get to where they need to go for their field trips, those kinds of things, athletic events and those kinds of things, please make sure that you direct them to our website so they can apply. And if you know someone that have payroll and accounting experience, please send them our way because we have a part-time payroll specialist position available as well. Upon return after the holidays, the following positional categories will be posted for the school year of 26-27. That would include, but not limited to, regular school bus drivers, early childhood, elementary teachers, SPED teachers, and all vacancies held currently by a virtual teacher. So when we come back, we'll start posting those positions because we need to make sure that we get a jump start on making sure we have as many classrooms filled by the time we come back for the start of next school term. So what's happening besides that in HR or in conjunction? We are on our recruitment season. We've been recruiting for the last several months, and we'll continue to do that. We will be at Winthrop University on the 21st of January, the Teacher of Color Fair in Atlanta, Georgia, January 24th, University of South Carolina, Columbia School of Education Fair on February the 5th. We are in initial stages of the school year 26-27 contract development per legislative updates, working on developing open contracts and letter of agreement, so when we do go to these recruitment fairs, we have something that we can offer to be able to hold positions and spaces in our district for individuals that we find. Before we even get to contract season. Deadline for letters of intent was on 12/12/25. The deadline for adept evaluations for the fall semester was also last Friday. Post-conferences are actually happening now, so if there's individuals still doing post-conferences, they have until Wednesday to complete those for the fall semester. Collaborating with middle and high school principals, the State Department, and the Center for Educator Recruitment, Retention, and Advancement, as well as the superintendent in creating a proposal for an educator pipeline. It is very important because we need to make sure that students in our schools, that they understand the importance of education and the idea that education is a great career. Sometimes we pour a lot of other fields in front of our students, but we need to start pouring that information to let them know education is still a viable career that they should be able to go into, okay? Non-teaching experience compensation, that begins 26-27 school year, and this is where individuals who are teaching, if they come into the field of education from a non-teaching area, give you an example. If there's someone who has spent, let's say, 8 years as a journalist, and they decide to come and be an ELA teacher or a journalism teacher, they would be able to submit to the State Department for their non-teaching experience. So for example, if they had 8 years of journalism experience, they can come and get 4 years of experience added to for their compensation, because they give 1 year for every 2 years, if that makes sense. And we'll have more information that's going to be provided. You have 2 flyers here, and I'm almost done. Volunteers are needed. We have our volunteer training on tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. at the district office. So if you know anyone who would like to come into our schools to volunteer, we need you. Direct them to come to the district office at 9 a.m. and we'll have a volunteer training there. We have a second one on January the 15th, which will be via Zoom. To the right, we have a career expo and job fair. So save the date, all in for the Allendale Comeback. We are hiring, so on Saturday, February the 7th from 9 to 1, we will have our very own Career Expo and Job Fair. So if you know of anyone who might be interested, whether they are in the teaching career, whether they have a certificate or not, if they are interested, make sure that you have a save the date for them so that they can come and learn all about the opportunities that we have here in Allendale. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much. Okay, let's take a moment and go to our naming committee. You'll give us a moment. We have to change slides, just a moment. Okay, all right. So a while back, we had some citizens come to us, and they wanted to name one of our facilities, or one of our, it is a facility, it's a baseball field, after one of our local citizens. So based on our policy, I have the policy, I've provided it to you. I'm not sure whether you have it tonight, but that policy is called Policy FF. It's the naming policy. We voted on that policy to make a change to that policy, remember, because you can only name a facility or grounds after someone that was deceased. So we intentionally changed our policy so that we can name it after someone that was living, just in case one of those names came up, right? All right, so that policy was passed, and then I was given permission by you to form the naming committee, which we did, and that persons on that naming committee are with us tonight, and I'll have those 2 persons come up in just a moment. Okay. So, to keep me out of the vote, Ms. Sanders was the person who did most of the work with the survey and putting it out in the public and putting the name in the paper. So we had a voting process. We had voting results, explanations for the nominations, and suggestions. Okay. So our voting process began on October 24th. The newspaper ad ran for 3 weeks. The flyer was on social media, and the community submitted votes to Ms. Sanders by way of email. We had 3 names that came in, well, 4 or 3 names. Robbie Lee Crumley, I want to tell you, he was a pillar He was a pillar for the town of Fairfax for over 35 years. He dedicated his life to serving his beloved hometown of Fairfax. He kept the streets clean, oversaw water treatment, beautified, and had a vision for Fairfax. They remember him. These are what the comments were. These are the comments that come directly from citizens, okay? They remember him and his dedication to keeping Fairfax a beautiful and functional town. Then we had Morris Holmes, which was a person who came to us to name the committee after. He created a culture of care, commitment, and support, showing young people how to navigate life's challenges through teamwork, responsibility, and empathy. Invested his own time and finances to help children in need. Families couldn't afford trips or gear. Adult men's baseball team and mentoring others. Passion and dedication set foundation for others to continue his work. And then we had Dwayne Pookie Smith. He was a radio personality on 93.5 and a huge impact on community, and he touched the lives. And then we had 91.9% of the vote go to Vern Taylor. Okay? So tonight, I invite two of our persons on the naming committee to come up and introduce themselves, and they can speak on behalf, because we're going to take a vote in just a few moments.
Good evening. My name is Estella Cohen.
Good evening. My name is Rodney Emanuel. And we're here standing before you as two of the 6 or 7 of us on the naming on the naming committee that are here to present to you in effect. We're trying to get the Fairfax Field named after someone, and of course the citizens have spoken, and Mr. Vern Arthur Taylor has overwhelmed the amount of 91.9%. And on a personal note, I think they all are great candidates, but the citizens have spoken, and in my opinion, humble opinion, they chose the right person, because Mr. Vern, I call him that with most respect, but we know him affectionately as Vern. Everybody know him as Vern. And I've known Mr. Taylor for all my life. That's 51 years, and like I said, no disrespect to no one up there, but I know no man in this town of Fairfax who's done more doing with less. He's always done what he's done with his own, and I think it's just fitting that we name the field after him, but the citizens have spoken.
And I ditto what he said. Vern Taylor has been working in the community for years with the children, and he has a heart for the children in the community. And so I think that he deserved to have that baseball field named after him. That is my own personal opinion. He has given his whole life to Fairfax, that field and the children, and if you could ask any of the kids around, or either the adults now, like Rodney, they'll tell you that how Vern, we call him, his name is Arthur, impact their lives. And so we're here tonight just to let you know we're on that committee, and we do vote for Vern Taylor to and that field to be named after him.
Thank you. The persons on that committee were Councilman Carl Love. He can't be here tonight because they have a meeting. Mayor Sauls was on that committee. They have a meeting. Ms. Estella Cohen, Mr. Ron Emanuel, LaShonda Jackson, myself, Jocelyn Sanders, as well as Colby Brandenburg. I think that was everybody was on the committee. Yes. So this is a little bit about the statements. Life and leadership embody the spirit of our community. That's what they said about Vern. Enduring dedication to fostering local talent and strengthening community bonds. Tireless efforts as a coach, mentor, and dedicated volunteer, teaching them not only the fundamentals of the game, but also invaluable lessons in teamwork, perseverance, and sportsmanship. They put individual impact and collective heritage, youth sports, but also through his selflessness and leadership, played a major role in the growth and development of youth. He is truly deserving, maintain that feel out of his own pocket and his will. Okay? So submissions, Vern Taylor had 91.9% with 34 votes. We had Dwayne had 2.71 vote, Robert Lee had 2.71 vote, and Morris Lee had 2.71 vote. And we put it out for 3 weeks, and that was the number of persons who decided to. So our suggestions for naming came various ways. Vern Taylor Diamond at Legacy Field, Taylor Made Field, or Arthur Vern Taylor Memorial Field. So we haven't decided on a name yet. The committee will come back with a name, but our next steps now would be to ask a recommendation from you for us to be able to proceed. So I'm going to ask for a vote now for us to be able to proceed with the naming of the field after Vern Taylor, and begin our collection of donations, which we already have some people who are going to give to place the marquee there, and we'll have a naming ceremony. So I need a vote for that to happen.
I make a motion that we accept the recommendation to name the Fairfax baseball field after Mr. Vern Taylor.
A second.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposes? So move.
Thank you so very much. So we can proceed. Thank you all so very much. Vern will be excited. He doesn't want anything named after him, but his family is all prepared to help us with this endeavor. All right. So what we'll do is we'll work on a name. Then we'll begin our fundraising, which we'll be doing that through an electronic app, the same app that we use for paying our tickets. Thank you for paying our tickets, so that it will be a collection process there. And then we will then have a ceremony down in Fairfax. And we want to get all of this done before baseball season starts, so we can have that marquee all up in his honor. All right? Okay, then. Thank you so very much. Thank you all for being here. Safe travels, too. Okay, back to finance. I think that's what's next. Is that what's next, or policy? Policy updates first, sorry. Next is policy updates, okay?
Good afternoon. Now we're down to policy update, FF naming committee on policy DN school properties, disposition, CV Bang properties.
Okay, so we're going to now move into policy DN. So I'm going to read policy DN. I think you may have policy DN. Do you have it there? Okay. So policy DN is to establish the basic structure for the disposal of property that is no longer needed. The superintendent will advise the board that certain property is no longer needed for public school purposes. The board may sell or lease school property, real or personal, whenever such property is no longer needed for school purposes. Under certain circumstances, the board will obtain the consent of county council before making such sale or lease. The State Board of Education must approve in advance and in writing the reassignment or disposal of parcels of land purchased after 1952 with state funds. And then the district must follow any other South Carolina Department of Education Office of Facilities regulation regarding disposal of property. So that's the policy that we have to go by. All right, policy DN. So tonight, I am asking for a motion for us to move forward. We met with county council, and we had a good collaboration meeting. 2 of our county council members are here. The chairman of the board is here. The chairman of the council is here, as well as, are you the vice? You're not the vice? Are you the vice, Ms. Jennings? Okay. As well as Ms. Marion Jennings. Both of them are here. I don't think any other councilman is here. All right? Yes. I apologize, it's cold. Our ballers have gone out, and we are in repair. All So I need a motion for us to proceed with the sale of that, or to go into contractual agreements. which
Dr.
will
Cave, I move that we enter into contractual agreement with Allendale County Council for a sale of CV Bing project property for the amount of $1.
I second.
It's been moved and properly second that we go into contract with Allen County. Do we have any questions?
Do y'all have any questions at this point?
I do. Will the school have space in that building as long as it exists?
Okay, is that, you want me to put that in the contract, or are you asking me that question?
I'm asking.
I would hope we'd have contract. Do you want to be able to ask that, or you want that to be a discussion between us when we do the contract?
It's only two of us here, superintendent and to the board.
Come up here.
I should have said also without cost.
Good evening.
Good evening.
And to Dr. Cave and also to the board members. As we met several weeks ago, we talked about costs. I think I made a promise to superintendent and also to the board members. And I'm going to try to live up to that promise. Of course, first step is one of the potential leaser for that property. And we think council will live up to what I feel will be the best route for us to take at this time. And that means maybe for the first 5 years, until we really get moving, that we could actually pay that portion. I'm only one, but we had, I think, the majority of the council there at the time. And I think we may have had three, and I think two of us agreed on it, so we just got to get one more to go along with it. So I think once the transfer of the property, I can promise you we're going to do all we can to make that a reality, because we need that for our kids, and we also need that space to be occupied. And so, yeah, I would say, as long as I'm there, we're going to do what we can. So that's the best answer I can give right now. And I hope, Chairperson, Chairwoman, I hope that helps you in making a positive decision on this. So,
It does. Thank you.
okay.
Thank you, Chairman. Okay, any more questions tonight? Okay.
When will we be able to review the contract?
Well, we'll start the contractual agreement probably during the Christmas holidays. I'm sure we'll get it going in January. I'll bring it back to the board hopefully by the end of the January meeting, and then we can take the final vote at February meeting after you see the contract.
I have a question. If the project isn't sustainable after the 7 years, can the building be returned back to the district?
That's something that can happen. We can talk about putting that back into the contract. Yes. 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 Yeah. Put that in contract. We'll put that in the contract, that after 7 years, if not sustainable, it comes back to us.
Just for clarity, we keep saying first step. Is it first step, a little new step? that we're trying-
Little new steps
I just-
in collaboration with First Steps.
Okay.
Right, because they supported the other one. Little new steps. Any other questions? That's it? All right. So we need, you need to, since we had questions, we'll need to do that again.
Okay.
Make the
We've
motion
heard the
again.
motion. I need to get a motion that we enter into contract with Allendale County to
Council.
Allendale County Council so that we can lease the building for $1 with the necessary input into the contract.
Yeah, we need to state it. So she was all correct except for the lease.
Oh, I'm
Sell,
sorry.
that's all right.
Sell for $1, I'm
I just want
sorry.
to get it in the record. That's right. That's
Okay.
fine.
I move that we enter into contractual agreement with Allendale County Council for the sale of CV Bing property for the amount of $1.
A second.
It's been moved and properly second that we enter into the contract with Allendale County for the sale of CV Bing School. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Any opposes? So
Okay.
move.
Thank you. Unanimously carried. Now we move on. Don't cry, Mrs. Jennings. All right, we made it. Looks like we made it. All right. You ready? All right. All right. Because we're freezing.
Yeah.
Finance next. Because it's cold in here, we're moving along. Put on your clothes. Ready?
Good evening.
Good evening.
On June 30th, 2025, the Allendale County School Board and the South Carolina Department of Education approved a $16,769,513 operating budget. As of November 30th, 2025, the total revenues received are $743,138. The total expenditures through June, for the month of November, $1,264,591. At this time, that is a deficit of $521,452. Any questions?
Thank you, Ms. Jackson.
At this time, I would like to ask the board for a motion to accept the November 2025 financial statement as presented.
I move to accept the November 2025 financial statement.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second that we accept our financial director report. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Any opposes? So moved.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, superintendent, student of the month, employee recognition.
All right, so now we're going to do employee recognitions and student of the month. I'll first recognize our high school custodian of the month, and that's Mr. Butch Myers. Is he here? All right, let's congratulate Mr. Butch Myers in being the custodian of the month. Then we have our bus driver of the month, and I know he's here, Mr. Kelvin Price. Mr. Kevin Price. Always ready, Freddie.
Come on here.
All right, thank you. Congratulations. So gift card and a certificate for you. Yes. Continue being that great bus driver.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Then Miss Erica Jones, I thought I saw her. Yes, she's our cafeteria employee of the month. Congratulations, America. I know you're always on the job and always doing your best. Thank you so very much for all you do. Amaya Badger, are you here, Amaya? Amaya is our student athlete of the month. All right, so let's congratulate Amaya. Amisha Grayson is our high school student of the month. They're probably all practicing and doing, so let's congratulate Amisha. And then our teacher of the month from the high school is Chief Jeffrey Gordon. I know I saw him earlier, okay? So let's congratulate Mr. Gordon. And then Wyatt Capers is our student of the month from the elementary school. Wyatt, come on, I know you're back there. Say it's a little cold, I got a little stiff. How you doing, Wyatt? Congratulations, look at that certificate. Oh my goodness, and you got a gift card. And look at that bag full of all kind of good stuff. Congratulations. And our champion in the classroom, another one is Miss Simone Roper Jackson. I know she's here. When I tell you she can teach a table to read, all right? She is an outstanding teacher. Congratulations, my dear. Our Aspire Academy of Student of the Month is Miss Zion Bell. She is here? Okay. All right. So we always take time to recognize them, whether they come or not. We still make sure they get their important recognition. Thank you for allowing us to recognize our employees. All right. Now, before we leave tonight, it's always nice to make sure we do a little something for the board. So just a little Merry Christmas there. Have a wonderful holiday. It's just a little something from us.
Thank you.
Carefully wrapped by Ms. Thank you so very much. Happy holidays.
Thank you so much.
That's it for me.
Again, thank each and every one of you for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us tonight. Thank you, Dr. K, for always looking out for the board. Appreciate that. And to everybody else, please have a safe and healthy, enjoyable holiday season. We're getting ready to go into executive session. You're able to stay if you want to, but if not, have a safe trip back home. Can I get a motion? Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I left one thing off. I apologize. You have 3 calendars that were provided to you. This is only the beginning session of the calendar. What I will do, community, is that these 3 calendar options are going to be put in the community for vote. So over the Christmas holidays, they'll be out there, and we'll keep sending messages through the Christmas holiday for them to look, for the community to look at the calendar. We have one option that resembles a district up north, not up north, up northern part of the state, one in the middle part of the state, and one in the low country with us. Okay, so we took 3 options because probably about 65–70% of the districts in the state now are on the modified calendar. So we kind of need to stay in keeping with that because we play teams that are on the modified calendar. So we tried to make some sense of how we should organize our calendar, okay? So the 3 options will go out for public vote, and then I'll bring you those votes back at our January meeting. If I need to send it out again, I'll send it out again. And we're also going to send the copies home by the children, okay? All right, thank you. Okay.